Are we good? Okay.
Hello, and welcome to the Content Bunker. I'm your host, Tyler Bender, and this is the show where we discuss some of the most nuclear topics in pop culture. But today, I am so excited to debrief The Secret Lives of Mormon Wives Season 3 with you today. Hold my hand, this is gonna be so fun. Before I corrupt you with my thoughts, I want to know yours. So leave a comment right now. Let's get into it. So today we are going to debrief, recap, and yap about Season 3 of The Secret Lives of Mormon Wives. So if you remember the end of last season of Secret Lives of Mormon Wives Season 2, there was like this dramatic vote. What's that mean where it's like, I know I'm gonna be out, just vote.
I know I'm gonna be out, so just vote.
There's this dramatic vote where Mom Talk is just in shambles by the end of Season 2. So we open up Season 3 by sort of unpacking where the girls are at currently. Taylor is dealing with a lot of personal issues, so she's in Mom Talk. She's not as involved as she once was. Demi was the one who instigated most of the drama last season, and so by the end of it, she was out. And the show also illustrated that she had some contract negotiations for Season 3, and she was playing hardball. She wanted a lot more money than everybody else. Demi's out. Jen is on a break from Mom Talk. Last season, she was dealing with a lot of mental health issues. And Whitney is out because she also got caught up in some sort of contract negotiations, and last season all the girls were kind of weird to her, so she kind of just wasn't for it. So Michaela is really the heart and soul of Mom Talk, and as the heart and soul of Mom Talk, Macy is pissed at these girls for not having their shit together. She's like, guys, we gotta keep up our appearances. But the event in question is a sober Minky Couture influencer event in Kaysville, Utah, with $3 cheesecake bites, fluorescent lighting, and a balloon arch. Like, be for real. But let's talk about how Season 2 ended a little bit more. At the end of Season 2, Layla met up with Marciano from Vanderpump Villa. They did this crossover, not featured on the show, where the girls went to the Vanderpump Villa and stayed for a week, but it stirred up a lot of drama because the girls had a lot of drama with Marciano. He apparently had kind of some weird flirting experiences with Demi and with Jesse, and it's been sort of the drama of the group. So Layla wanted to get to the bottom of this, and she asks Marciano to meet up with her in a random ski lodge in Park City at the end of Season 2. And he reveals to her that he had an affair with Jesse. So at this sober Minky Couture influencer event in Kaysville, Utah, Layla approaches Jesse and confronts her with this information. Like, hey, I met up with Marciano and he's saying that you're cheating on your husband with him. Is this true? And Jesse's like, well, no, sort of, yes. But let's call him and dial in the exact details so that you feel like I'm being 100% honest. Because Jesse's side of the story is that they just kissed and they never hooked up. So she calls Marciano. Layla and Jesse get in a car together and they call Marciano and she's like, tell her that we just kissed. And Marciano is like, well, I don't really know because I woke up and there was cum in my pants and I took a boner pill, so I don't really know, bro. The phrase cum in my pants is so funny, and that is why I love this show. So obviously this is a wild way to open the series. Jesse's whole thought on this is I was just gonna handle this with my husband, but now everybody in the group is about to find out. Layla has just opened Pandora's box, and now this is kind of the thesis for this season. Now Layla's having a birthday party where Jesse's husband, by the way, I will just be referring to him as Jesse's husband, tells all of the boys, which they're now really going hard on calling themselves dad talk, about the affair situation, and obviously they're just kind of oh bro, that sucks. New drama plot point. Layla's planning this party, and beforehand she's chatting with Michaela and Macy. And Layla's like, I think I'm gonna invite Chase, who, keep in mind, has a podcast where he just randomly talks shit on these women. He's also Miranda's baby daddy. He's also the one who instigated the swinging scandal because he took it a little too far with Taylor Freaky Paul. She's like, I think I want to invite him to my birthday party. And Macy and Michaela are like, we will not come if you do that. And she's like, okay, sounds good. And then without telling Macy or Michaela, she just invites him to the birthday party. And then he shows up, and this guy is such a fucking tool. But she acts so dumb and surprised. She's like, oh my god, you came. I had no idea. And Macy and Michaela, these girls are vicious. And let's be real, I know she just did this because she wants to his brother. Also, my favorite character, Taylor Frankie Paul's mom, Leanne, just randomly appears at this birthday party. Yes, I love this diva. She inserts herself into the show in the most magical, beautiful ways. I honestly love her aura. She's one of my favorite reality TV stars, and I would love to see more of her. At first she got on my nerves, but then her desperation for clout and adoration is kind of camp. It's in the same way that I like Brittany Bateman, where I feel bad a little bit about the desperation, but it also makes me love them. I love it. It's camp. That's what it is. It's camp. So apparently the holidays weren't stressful enough already. Between arguing with my sister, burning cookies, wrapping gifts at 3 a.m., I'm about to lose my mind. And then I find out some of the stuff I'm cleaning with might have microplastics in it. I love that for me. So I locked in and I switched to Blueland for all of my favorite cleaning supplies. Their tablet formulas are made with certified clean ingredients, and what I love is the refill packs come in totally compostable packaging, which means no single-use plastic. Okay, let's talk about their soap kit. I love this. It's very clean girl aesthetic. This kit comes with 10 holiday scented soap tablets, which is basically a full year of hand soap in the best smells you could imagine. I think this would be the perfect gift for your mom, your friend, or even yourself, because I think we deserve the finer things. Personally, I'm getting this for my mom because she is very eco-conscious. She's gonna eat this right up. Honestly, it's so easy to use that it's even sort of fun. All you have to do is fill this bottle with warm water, wait till the tablet totally dissolves, and then put on the nozzle and enjoy a new bottle of waste-free soap. I also love, love, love these laundry detergent tablets because they're made with totally clean ingredients and so easy to use. You just throw these right in the laundry machine and your clothes will come out good as new. Blueland tablets are certified by EPA, Safer Choice, USDA BioPreferred. They are made with safe, clean ingredients that don't sacrifice performance. So go ahead and click that link in the description to get 15% off today. Okay, now we're on to episode 2. Jessie and her husband officially decide to separate. We get to see footage of them kind of debriefing the affair and figuring out what they're gonna do about it. And a lot of viewers felt like Jessie's husband was being really angry and handling it poorly and being like misogynistic. And while I agree that he was being misogynistic, I gotta say, if I found out my partner kissed somebody randomly, I've done a lot more over a lot less. Jessie meets up with her sisters and her mom and kind of tells them what's going on with this affair situation. And this once again tells me everything I need to know. The mom and the sisters are like, oh, finally, it's been a long time coming. You haven't been happy in like years. Taylor meets up with her baby daddy Dakota to talk about how she is doing so much therapy and it's honestly just like a competitive therapy speak meeting. I don't know. Also, she has this baby that is so big and it makes her look so skinny and it makes me low-key want one. Is it worth it to get a baby to make you skinny? Like it looks like a labubu on her. Dakota doesn't understand how his parental rights work and he's honestly blown away at taking care of his labubu while Taylor was at therapy camp. The concept of Dakota being shocked that he has to parent for more than 2 days while Taylor's away. Meanwhile, Taylor has, what, like 3 other kids that she has full-time? In this episode, Michaela hosts a sober, high-fashion St. Patrick's Day birthday party. The concept of an elevated St. Patrick's Day party. Although Jessie and her husband are separated, they both attend this party because you gotta show up for mom talk and dad talk now. So once again, Jessie wants to uncap this affair cheating scandal with all the women. She chooses to do this right in front of her husband and she pulls out her phone and she's like, guys, just to prove to you that I didn't have sex with Marciano, I want to read some text messages to you that totally vindicate me. And she pulls out her phone, husband sitting behind her, group of everybody at this public birthday party. She goes, I want to feel your new reconstructed vagina, babe. I want to feel it. She's like, see, and that proves that we didn't have sex because he wasn't yet able to feel my vagina. See, guys, I didn't sleep with him, but it's like the most damning evidence you've ever seen in your life. And then her husband's just back there hearing it like, oh, that was a hard watch. That was a hard watch. Now in episode 3, Macy and Michaela decide they are going on a detective adventure extravaganza to Beaver, Utah. And they are going to confront Marciano. This B storyline is just so ridiculous. It's like, oh, let's get our 2 least interesting characters and give them something to do. Anyway, they meet up with Marciano at the only place in Beaver, Utah that's not a Subway inside of a Flying J gas station. And Marciano arrives with a full beat of makeup. Like, I'm serious. Juvederm bursting out of the seams, brows carved like Huda Beauty did them in 2016. Like, I don't get it because this is such a damning storyline for this man and he's like taking advantage of it. He's like, I didn't sleep with her. Or I did. I'll tell you more if you put me on another episode. Why are we this desperate to be on camera? Just make a TikTok account. Start a YouTube channel. So let me organize the storyline for you. First, Layla said she heard from Marciano that Jessie and Marciano slept together. Jessie's denying that, saying they only kissed and texted a little bit. Now that Marciano is being confronted by Macy and Michaela, he's like, okay, I actually didn't sleep with her. I only said that I did because I was under the influence of Demi. And Macy and Michaela just accept that. They're like, okay, valid. Moving on. So we're at another stupid influencer event, and Layla and Demi get into a confrontation. Demi's been on the outs. She hasn't been with the girls. She's not in the group. She arrives separately to this dumbass event. And it's so painfully awkward because Demi is like immediately on the defensive. Because Demi's side of the story now is that not only did Jessie cheat on her husband with Marciano, Marciano's such a bad guy that he essayed her. Guys, I'm not here to play judge and jury on this storyline. But Demi's so offended by her confrontation with Layla, she threatens to go live and expose Jessie's cheating scandal to everybody before the season goes live. And so, of course, the producers of the show are like shitting their pants. If she ruins the season, they're running out to her car. They're like, please don't ruin the season. But yeah, it just basically ends with Demi screaming and driving away. So our righteous truth-seeking oracles decide that what they need to do is organize a girls' trip. A girls' trip where they're gonna meet up with Marciano and get the final truth. Why are we doing this? Oh! So all the girls are staying at this hotel, and Jessie meets up with Marciano alone in a hotel room to talk about the situation. And then the girls invite a literal lie detector analyst person to come conduct tests. But apparently they both passed the test. They did not sleep together. But I mean, come on, like lie detectors are pseudoscience. But the girls are overjoyed at this information. The only thing that feels so crazy to me is that while they waited for the lie detector results, they invited Marciano to dinner with them. Let me be clear. This group of women who are like obsessed with truth and transparency and justice and righteousness invite the man who is destroying this woman's marriage, who is being accused of sexual assault by one of your friends. You're going to dinner with him? What is wrong with you? So of course, in episode 4, Jessie gets home and she has to have an uncomfortable conversation with her husband. So like this guy obviously is like reaming into her, which, you know, it made a lot of viewers uncomfortable. I don't like the way he talks to her. And honestly, I think they just need to be done because he will never get over this, bro. You know, like in a relationship where you know you fucked up so bad that it's just a point of no return. Yeah, me neither. But this is like one of those things where he's just gonna hold it over her head for the rest of time. So, but they're like having this conversation about, he's like, bro, why did you go to dinner with him? Like, I was supportive of you doing this whole lie detector thing. I was supportive of trying to fix this relationship, but like, bro, dinner is pushing it. And she's like, honestly, I can't promise to you that I'm never gonna speak with him again. What is the grip Marciano has on these ladies? She's like consistently reaching out to Marciano, texting him like, once again, let's rehash the details of our night together, please. I would like to talk about the night we had together, please. Jessie continues to break down with the women that like things are just not good at home. And like I was saying, the women are just like, yeah, we know. Dad Talk meets up and they devise a plan to save Jessie and Jessie's husband's marriage. This entire season, every time this man is on my television screen, he is in a hat that says Dad Talk. Where can you buy these hats? It's insane that every single scene he is wearing that. The girls do a dumbass picnic where Jen tells everyone she does anal sex. Jessie and her husband are separated for 90 days to test out if they want to try and fix their marriage or just be done. In this 90-day trial period, Jessie's husband invites everybody over to their house except for Jessie so that everybody can hear his side of the story and garner sympathy. Layla does the funniest thing. She says, oh, did you pay Jessie to rent out her house hourly? And the room is very divided on whether or not to support him. I feel like usually when something happens, it's kind of tradition that like a woman kicks her husband out of the house and she gets to keep the house, like because there are kids in it. Did he get the house in this situation? Maybe that's a little trad of me, but I think when you get in a fight with your husband, he's the one who has to go to the hotel. Obviously, in this conversation, Macy and Michaela are like, we totally get that like you're uncomfortable with her cheating on you, but you're a huge dick to her, so we don't really want to support you. And Macy once again is running with this whole like, I hate toxic men thing. Finally, we get to like hear a take from Jen and her husband, and Jen's husband is really trying hard to support Jesse's husband on this one without getting canceled. So he like every once in a while peeps in and he's like, I actually think what she did was pretty fucked up and I hope you guys can make it work. And I just wish a lot of the women here were more supportive of mothers and families staying together instead of just leaving them. But whatever you guys think, please don't cancel me like you did last season. Episode 5, we find out that the girls are getting an opportunity to audition for Dancing with the Stars, where we are back on Whitney. Whitney decides that because of this opportunity, she's going to rejoin Mom Talk because I guess like the ABC people came to her and they're like, hey, if you rejoin Mom Talk, we'll give you Dancing with the Stars. Mom Talk goes to a hydro jug event where they get into an epic fight with Demi. She is like immediately ranting, raving, screaming. She does this at one point.
I just feel bad about the way that I handled that. I wish I would have backed off and just been like, not now. Yeah.
Did you say hi to your
It's disappointing because I feel like you don't have my back.
It's hard to have my back for somebody that.
But what
the
you
claims that
know
are being
isn't
made.
the full truth. My friend, the guy who had sex with him. She did.
No.
Okay.
Unless you're willing to like come back and like prove and like speak your.
There's no way to prove that unless I come back with a lie detector test.
Then do
and
that.
Ask me anything. Literally ask me anything.
Jesse screaming back at her. It is like a disaster. It's so funny because they're in like these Sunday Easter dresses and also in front of a wall of hydro jugs. Why are we making jugs, coquette? Honestly, I couldn't even follow what they were fighting about. They were just so angry at each other. Miranda's having a birthday party. I like her. Whitney shows up to said birthday party and everyone is a huge bitch to her. After a few minutes, it's so awkward that she and her husband just like saunter out of there. But that's not the end because Whitney needs screen time to be on Dancing with the Stars. So she's gonna try and give it a second go. She meets up with the girls again in private and the girls just spend the whole entire meeting shitting on her. Their take is like, you're literally just trying to be friends with us to join Dancing with the Stars. Like, and her take is like, I spent all of last season trying to be your friend and you guys fucking suck to me. So I have to do this show and I also want to be on Dancing with the Stars. So at this point, you are just business to me if that's how it's gonna be. And then the girls are more mad, but I feel like they put her in that situation. So it's kind of like, that was like the natural outcome. If you're a bitch to somebody for 2 fucking seasons of TV, they're not gonna want to be warm and fuzzy anymore. Like you've kind of pushed her to this mindset. Episode 6, Demi and Whitney are an alliance. And I don't even think it's because they like each other that much. I just think it's because they only have each other to film with because everybody else hates them. Demi, Whitney, and Macy are actually getting their makeup done for press in the same room. And although Macy is in there, that does not stop Demi from talking shit on the Jesse Marciano situation. Demi's take on this is that Jesse and Marciano have united to drag her down and slander her name. Demi compares her situation to other girls in the group who have experienced SA, and the other girls are pretty offended by that because they feel like they're situations were like a lot worse and some of the things happened when they were children, and so they were just like, I feel like you're weaponizing my trauma that you know about to prove a point, which is not cool. The other girls in Mom Talk keep saying they believe Demi, but then they're like totally acting like they don't believe Demi. I think they're just saying they believe Demi because they feel like they have to not be hated by fans. Like if this were me, I would probably just take my friend's side and then move on from it. Like I wouldn't need to go on like a whole justice and truth exploration, especially because it's not like Demi was pressing charges on Marciano. Like nobody really had to like be involved with Marciano. Like especially he kind of blew up Jesse's life. So let's just like move on from it. I don't know. I guess it makes sense that Jesse's mad at Demi because Demi's kind of spun this into the whole affair scandal for Jesse. But this is mental gymnastics to me. Like why can't we just move on from Marciano and like not mention him? You know? What are your guys' thoughts on this? Because it's definitely a sticky situation and very confusing. The girls do interviews to get on Dancing with the Stars. Jen's whole thing is like, this has been my dream my entire life. In this episode, the girls are going to Stagecoach, but this presents an issue because Whitney is also invited to the same brand house that the girls are staying at. The girls are so pissed that Whitney's gonna be there at all. Literally the only person who's not absolutely activated about this is Miranda. And like Macy and Michaela, why are they even that mad at Whitney? I don't even think they ever got into a beef with Whitney, but I think they're just like so pregnant and angry and bored. It's crazy. Demi and Jesse actually meet up to settle the score in this episode. And you'd think this would be the end of it, but it is far from that. Now we're unpacking more of this storyline where we learn that Demi is sending photos of her kids to Marciano and she's sending like kind of flirty texts and Jesse's kind of clocking her on all of these things and it really doesn't even cause any progress at all. This meeting just ends so awkwardly. Guys, honestly, this season was kind of bad. Episode 7. At Stagecoach, Taylor and Whitney have a standoff because every girl is like, I can't believe that Whitney's gonna even enter this house. I'm so pissed about it. And Taylor's like, guys, as the leader of Mom Talk, it's my responsibility to settle these beefs. Everybody's really mad because you support Demi through her SA allegations on Marciano. I would be so pissed. You're mad at her for supporting somebody who's coming forward as a victim who used to also be your friend. So like, serious? Why do I need your side on somebody else's personal issue? I didn't know I needed your permission to do that. And For real, if 4 people have a problem with Whitney, why are they not coming forward too? And normally my ethos in life is like, okay, if everybody in a group has a problem with you, you're the problem. You know, if everybody smells like shit, it's probably you. This is like the one situation where I think this woman is being bullied so hard, and they love a group mentality. They get addicted. These girls get so high on like a group think. I think they're so excited to not be the victim that it's like cannibalization of each other. It's like, oh, it's not me. Fuck, let's jump on this, which is awkward. It's kind of like on Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, how Jen Criminal Shaw was literally doing despicable criminal activity, and the girls knew that shit the entire time and forgave her over and over and over again, and she was literally evil to all of them, and they like consistently forgave her. But then Monica did like one thing and the girls never forgave her and freaked out and wrote her off the show forever. Like, it's kind of like that. Like, actually, I better watch my damn mouth, because Jen Shaw's getting out of prison any freaking day now, and she's been pumping iron. The girls ice out Whitney while they get ready for Stagecoach in the ugliest outfits I've ever seen in my life. But Whitney's just kind of like, bro, I'm honestly just here to make a TikTok dance video and leave. It is like one of the cringiest things I've ever seen, because everybody is glaring at her with like 1,000 million daggers, and she's coaching her little twink husband through like, and then they pause and he's like, I'm feeling a little bit sick. I don't want to do this anymore. And she's like, one more, keep it tighter. All the girls are like, I hope she dies in a fire. And she's like obviously clocking that everybody in the room is being incredibly hostile toward her, and she's like, I do have to say, one of the worst things Whitney has done all season is this piggy tail look. Even Mark Ballas told her that was unforgivable. The girls are at Stagecoach, and Michaela and her husband are kind of getting into a tiff. Her husband's like getting drunk and they're fighting, but obviously they're experiencing bigger issues in their marriage, which, I just feel like this season is so dark, I don't even want to talk about these. If you want to go rehash that, go watch the season. And side note, these girls' outfits for Coachella are heinous. I just feel like, how are you that, like, they're obviously making so much money. They've got to be printing money. They've got like brand deals, they've got the show, they've got so many views on every platform. So I know they have money. The concept of them having so much money and looking like an Amazon storefront shoppable link is mind-boggling to me. Taylor and her baby daddy Dakota are getting a little cuddly. This entire episode are canoodling at Stagecoach like a 7th grade couple at an amusement park. They're actually thinking they might rekindle their relationship, and every single person is watching going, don't do it. And also on this episode, one of my favorite moments of the entire season happens. Before Dakota goes to bed, Taylor pops in and she goes, oh, are you doing a circle jerk in here, whitening your teeth and tanning before Stagecoach? And it's kind of laughed off, but then he shows up to Stagecoach with bright white teeth and a neon orange spray tan, and I was like, no way, you clocked his teeth so hard, and nobody gave that enough appreciation. That was hilarious. Also in this episode, Michaela's husband has a heart-to-heart with Taylor about their marital issues, and she's like giving them advice. And honestly, for as messy as she is, she's kind of like wise and all-knowing. She is the Lisan Al-Gaib of mom talk. Jesse's husband is really trying so hard to win her back, and in his quest to try and win his wife back, he delivers some information he has from Dakota to Jesse, which honestly, this would work on me. I love a little bit of tea. I love other people's business. Honestly, other people's business is literally my business. But his tea is apparently he knows that Dakota has been flirting with Taylor's mom's best friend? Ooh. And one thing about Jessie is that she is very ultra loyal. And I think this is like kind of like a status thing. Like, she reminds me very much of Heather Gay from Real Housewives, because this girl like identifies who kind of like the strongest person in the group is, or the alpha, and she really works hard to be in their good graces. I feel like it's a low confidence thing, because she's really reading as insecure and like needing the approval of whoever the like deemed alpha is of the group. But it's weird because she's like the most successful one. But anyway, having this information really stresses her out. She's like, I gotta tell the boss. I gotta tell the boss. Taylor has to know about this. But the editors are absolutely evil, because they do a cutaway of Dakota and Taylor saying the L word to each other in bed. I haven't seen dramatic irony this juicy since Game of Thrones. So this is really interesting, because the show is produced so quickly and there's so much content that in season 3, we're watching them do press for season 2. And on one of their press interviews, the girls are kind of unpacking the Demi Jesse Marciano drama. And Whitney finally hears the side of the other women in the group, how they're anti-Demi. She learns about like the awkward text messages, and she learns about how Demi kind of involved her children, and how even Demi's husband sent a DoorDash to Marciano because he felt bad. So Whitney and Connor are being really delicate and sweet about the situation. They're like, this is really, really awkward for us because we don't want to like not support her, but this story is really weird. And I think that's how all the viewers feel. Like, hopefully. I mean, some of you guys are being really crazy about this, but I think most normal viewers probably feel like, this is really awkward. In this episode, Mom Talk does a pride event. Yes, the Republican Mormon Utah wives are doing a pride event. Macy, though, she's different. She's not like most Mormons. She supports gay people. And she also hates toxic men. She really takes a stand by getting a pride flag this big and like puts it in like the teeniest, tiniest, non-visible corner of her yard. And she goes, ally. I'm an ally, guys. I love being an ally. Jen and Whitney are the ones who get to be on Dancing with the Stars. Yay! With one of the pros, his name is Ezra. And actually, this is so funny because I was signed to the same talent management as Ezra and his sister when we were little. And I have like the corniest photo shoot of all time with his sister. Oh God, it's never seeing the light of day. I wouldn't do her dirty like that, and I'm not gonna do myself dirty like that, but it's like our manager would make us do these crazy glamour shot days. We'd be like, but he's like the sweetest person ever, just so you know. But as she's practicing with Ezra, they kind of have a conversation about like pride and Utah, and Jen's take is like, yeah, I just hate that Utah culture is so homophobic, but that's different than the religion. No, it's not, girl. Girl, the culture is dictated by the religion. That's one thing that drives me nuts is this scene was so hard to watch because Ezra shares this really heartfelt story about his family being really hurtful to him when he came out of the closet, and they worked through it and ended up leaving the church because the church doesn't have values that are aligned with supporting LGBTQ plus individuals. And she's like, and damn, that sucks. But for me, it's a little bit different. In this episode, Whitney confronts Demi about how, you know, everybody kind of feels like her story is not lining up and is questionable. She's really delicate about that. But Demi gets really defensive and really intense. It kind of reminds me of Lisa Barlow. I'm sorry I'm like cross-referencing media. If you haven't seen Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, it's so much better than this garbage. Go watch that. A lot of people were upset that she had texted Marciano, oysters taste like cum, after she felt harassed by him. And her defense is, I talk about cum with my friends all the time. And the pet names, the reason why his name is Marciano Baby in my phone is because my daughter said to do that, because we were talking with my daughter. And then Whitney brings up the fact that Jen has video evidence of Demi trying to coach her on how to talk about the Marciano situation. And Whitney just kind of listens, and it's painful and awkward because what else can you do in this situation? Back at the Pride party, Taylor brings Taco Bell. Take a shot every time they have Taco Bell on the show. Is this product placement, or do they really like Taco Bell this much? I'm so curious. Macy tokenizes her husband's gay cousin at this event, who they clearly don't know a thing about. They're like asking him really, really surface level questions like they've never met this man in their life. It's like, okay, we get it. You have so many gay cousins and friends who you know, and that's why you're such an active ally. Whitney and her husband, once again, are recapping how uncomfortable they are being caught in between Mom Talk and Demi and feeling like they need to pick a side, and also wanting to support Demi but being really confused about her story. And I gotta say, Whitney's husband has really come around to me. I'm like, I want one. I want to put him in a little jar and carry him around like Tinkerbell. Episode 8, Dakota finally comes clean to Taylor that he totally was flirting with her mom's best friend. She's obviously so mad about this. Episode 9, the girls are still in LA doing press, and this is when Miranda gets real with Demi. They're just like getting their makeup done, and Miranda comes in. And Miranda's like, okay, I have issues with you because at the Halloween party, you told your husband that you were shoved by my baby daddy when he poked you. And so I have a problem with you because you went on TV and made it look like my baby daddy is like an abuser when we all saw the footage, he just tapped you. So that's my beef with you. And instead of being receptive to understanding that, this conversation goes all over the place because Demi is like, a shove and a poke are the same thing. Miranda's trying to keep it real. Miranda's really real. I like Miranda a lot. She's like, literally no. Just understand this is the conversation we're having. And Demi dances around it, yells at her, downplays the Marciano thing. Then they go to the actual press interview where Jen says that Demi sent her a cease and desist, but she can't find it or share it. This was never confirmed, so I have no idea what she's talking about. Whitney continues to support Demi. Macy continues to chirp on Whitney. Whitney's husband quits his job and is committed to making Dad Talk his career. And he's hyping up Jen's husband on it too. And he's like, oh no, it's gonna be so sick. We can just do like the funnest shit in LA all the time. Taylor and Whitney are getting the opportunity to go on Jimmy Kimmel Tonight to talk about season 2 of Secret Lives of Mormon Wives. And I feel bad because Taylor can't even enjoy this experience because she's so mad dealing with feeling betrayed by not only her baby daddy, but like a very close family friend. Her mom's there to support her, and her mom's equally as frustrated about this. Like, they really can't even lock into this experience that they're having, which sucks. Also, not to be the fashion police here again, but
The outfit she wears to Jimmy Kimmel is a altered state poplin church dress. Why are you wearing a slutty church dress to Kimmel?
literally she looks like a slutty youth pastor who likes to like flirt with the young boys in the congregation. Anyway, Demi has continued fighting with all the girls. She fights with Miranda. She fights with everybody. She's so frustrated that she finally just breaks down and calls her husband Brett. And what I love is she's just going off about everybody, and he fully fans the flames of her delusion. I love that. He's like, you know what? Honestly, Miranda's probably used to people shoving because she's white trash. Like, he just doubles down on all of her antics. It's low-key kind of hot. Like, okay, some old guy that will just tell you everything you say is right and like help you be crazier. I love that. I have an old guy, and he unfortunately tells me when I'm being crazy, and it sucks. They also do an interview in this episode in this studio, this here studio. Before they go on for Kimmel, Taylor and Whitney eventually make amends. Whitney's kind of like, yeah, you know, like, I was just protecting myself when I said I didn't want the friendship. Like, obviously I care about you guys, but I was kind of backed into a corner. And Taylor's like, yeah, that's all I wanted you to say. One thing I love about Taylor is that she's very direct, and when she forgives you, she forgives you. There, you know exactly where she's at. And I think that's a really cool trait. She's not afraid to apologize. She's not afraid to admit she's wrong, and she's not afraid to forgive. She has like a lot of very interesting qualities. I'm so excited to see her as the Bachelorette. And can I say, I know somebody who's on it. I went on a date with one of the guys that's going to be on her season of The Bachelorette, and he is the corniest person alive. If he's not out on, I think he'll get out on the first episode because I don't think he's like cute. But if he makes it past the first episode, it is going to be my field day. It is going to be delicious how corny this man is. The corniest man alive. This man sent me a checklist of what he wants in a wife before we even met up. And yeah, you're thinking, Tyler, that's crazy to meet up with him given that information, but I wanted lore. One of the checklists on the list was loves sex and is a sexual person, and another one was doesn't compete with me, and another one was like open about politics. And then at the end it says just gets it. Jesse and Taylor meet up, and they're kind of unpacking this whole Dakota situation because these are the only girls that know about that right now. They're comparing show notes of what they know about what Dakota said versus what Jesse's husband said, and it seems like things aren't matching up because Jesse's saying that Dakota tried to take things farther, and Dakota's saying like, I barely even talked to her at all. And Taylor starts crying at Hideaway Beverly Hills. We've all been there. We've all had a good cry at Hideaway Beverly Hills into those still disgusting tortilla chips that everybody tries to tell you are the must-do spot in LA. Don't go to Hideaway. It's just like everybody tells you, every influencer tells you, but Hideaway Beverly Hills is like the spot. If you're visiting LA, just don't bother with Hideaway Beverly Hills. It's not that good. Dakota is doubling down. Deny, deny, deny. I did not take things farther. This was not a big thing. So Taylor and her mama take things into their own hands, and they call this woman who had betrayed them. And of course, this lady's like, I have no idea what you're talking about. What do you mean, Dakota? I just wanted to tell him that I support him. I'm here for your family. I'm here for him. I just want to be supportive of the Taylor Frankie Paul industrial complex, you know? But of course, as they push her, she's breaking down a little bit, and she's like, okay, well, we did flirt a little bit. And she really continues to play dumb and innocent, and they can clearly read through her. They're like, okay, well, fuck you forever then, goodbye. And of course, Taylor's whole entire family is so angry about this. They're finally being supportive of her, which, by the way, they're so mad at Dakota, but remember 2 seasons ago when you were trying to force Taylor into marrying this guy? Remember when you were chewing out your daughter, calling her a slut in front of this guy? Well, aren't you glad you didn't make her do that? Demi and Whitney continue to debrief this Marciano scandal, and it is like eating up the whole entire season. There's not much more to say. I just think there's no place for Demi on this show anymore because nobody's gonna film with her, and and this is just like such an awkward situation, especially because in real time what's happening is they're opening Hulu and Vanderpump. Everybody's like investigating this. This is just blown up into a big, huge thing. Marciano says that he's gonna sue Demi. It's like, where do we even go at this point? Demi's take is, you know what? I think the reason the girls are mad at me is because I haven't been able to cry and make them feel bad for me. So I think I should meet up and be vulnerable and cry and try to see if that will work. And Whitney's like, yes. So Whitney offers to organize a meeting with everybody to honestly share their feelings. Jessie hosts an event for her brand Jay-Z Styles. And at this event, Whitney asked the girls to meet up and basically everybody laughs in her face. But I guess there was a reunion last season that she kind of had a kumbaya with Michaela, so things are a little bit better. Like, I guess they're more open to hating Whitney a little bit less at this point. And I do think it's just because they can see that Whitney's probably going to be more famous with them and she's going to kind of crush it on Dancing with the Stars. So I do think that's probably part of why that's happened. But Macy comes around to being open to this because she wants to find the truth about Demi. She says that for a girl who believes that there are magical plates that tell her that she needs to wear special underwear and not drink coffee, this girl's really obsessed with truth. Just saying. Dakota is so mad at Taylor for, I guess, talking about the way that he fucked her over that he decides he's not gonna show up to his son's baby blessing. That's really messed up. Whitney and Macy meet up at a Swig interior location. Macy has taken it upon herself to be the new representative of Mom Talk while Taylor is out on personal matters. Obviously, Macy continues to take Whitney to task, but has like a little bit of empathy this time around. And I just feel so bad for Whitney because what I think has happened here is that like all these girls are more of just like hot popular girls and Whitney is a theater kid of the group. And this is why I personally am really starting to feel a lot more empathy for Whitney. I see myself in her a little bit because like she's just awkward and can't hang with cool popular girls. So people are like not understanding how to handle her. They just don't like her. They don't like her. And so they're using that sense of dislike to propel into just hating everything she does and weaponizing it and taking it personally. She's like Rachel Berry, low-key. Like, ugh. Jessie and her husband are at the end of their 90-day separation. Yes, her husband is again in a dad talk hat, always a different one. They decide that they are actually going to continue to pursue their marriage. They basically have a discussion where they decide that he's mean to her because he got married at 18 and now he's a control freak and he needs to be mean, but he's gonna try to not be mean. The girls meet up at some random apartment lobby to film their Come to Jesus group Mean Girls testimony bearing meeting. In a bold move, Demi immediately decides to pull Taylor to the side to apologize. I thought she was gonna pull Taylor to the side and start a fight, but she just immediately apologizes to Taylor. Because if you remember last season, one of the big plot points was that Demi, I'm sorry, this is so funny to me, literally screamed at Taylor's mom for like a half hour at the Christmas party she had. It was so crazy. But she says that the only reason she screamed at Taylor's mom was because she had a deep betrayal wound. Stop. This is what girls sound like after buying the shadow work journal on TikTok shop. And then she like has 100 million random excuses as to why she screamed at Taylor's mom and has been fighting everybody and it's just ridiculous. 3 seasons later, Michaela is still hating Whitney for God knows why. And I also just had the thought, remember how last season Jessie and Demi were like literally inseparable and now this season they are total ops? Crazy. Also, in this meeting, the girls are talking about the sanctity of Mom Talk, acting like it's this business that they have to keep up. Oh, brother. They meet up like, what, once a quarter to film a TikTok? Like, come on. And those usually aren't even the most viewed ones. Like, usually it's just solo videos of them talking shit on each other that get a lot of views. So they set up this whole thing where Macy and Whitney are spearheading this talking circle camp counselor vibe where they say, okay, we're gonna share our perspectives, we're gonna apologize to each other, and we're gonna give each other a chance to say all we need to say, and then it's a discussion. So Whitney begins. She's immediately crying. She apologizes to everyone. She apologizes to Macy for missing her baby mama launch, which was like 2 seasons ago and like really a big source of drama and hatred. She apologizes to Michaela for not being a good friend, I guess. She apologizes to Taylor. She apologizes to everyone overall for being constantly in and out of the group. My take, she does not have a reason to be bearing her soul kissing ass like this because last season she was paying her penance. She was like literally doing everything in her power to get back in the good graces, and they were like, no thanks. This seriously is a case of they just don't like her, and they're trying to make it something bigger than that. No, you just don't like who she is. It's just hard because last season, everybody was like so mean to Jen about having depression. Every single person was like not believing her that she had depression. They were so nasty to her about having depression, and Whitney was the only one who came through for her. And then Jen spent this whole season being so nasty toward Whitney. It's Demi's turn to apologize, and quite frankly, I was shocked that the girls bought her apology because it was so staged for her. She didn't cry. It was like memorized lines. It was not a good apology in my opinion, but the girls accepted it. Once again, all of the women come at Demi for not believing her story. They say that they were confused because they felt like she was flirting with him. They talk about how they were confused by the child involvement, the photos being sent. Everybody kind of picks apart her story. Whitney then stands up for her. She's like, well, honestly, like my husband Connor was a victim and I don't agree with the ways he responded, but you never know how somebody's gonna respond when they're traumatized like that. And I thought it was like a really heartfelt, like vulnerable thing for her to do, but basically everybody cut her off and didn't care and continued to jump down Demi's throat. Demi's final take on this situation is that she was assaulted by Marciano, but she decided to put it behind her so that she could cooperate with him to take Jesse down. That's like the most evil, crazy thing I've ever heard. But Jesse immediately forgives her. Brother! And my favorite thing is they're having this serious conversation, and the girls over and over again say, like, I totally believe you. We're not saying we don't believe you, but here are 4 reasons why we don't. In the final episode, we get to see Taylor doing her baby blessing party, which, just so you know, this is like a Mormon thing. When your baby turns like 1, I think they get blessed, and it has to be somebody who holds the priesthood, which means you have to be a like upstanding member of the church and also a dude. So they didn't do it because Dakota wasn't there, so it basically ruined the whole thing. Instead of doing a real baby blessing, they just had a party, which was so sad. Dakota ruins everything he touches. It's like a miraculous skill. Demi and her husband attend the baby shower, and it's painfully awkward. Also, Demi and Taylor are wearing the same Amazon storefront dress. I think next season is gonna like have tappable links come up on screen as you watch. But everybody's kumbaya. Jesse, the prayer ends, they go, amen. And Jesse goes, who wants to film a TikTok? Which I thought was so funny. But that's like their version of being a united front. We're making a TikTok together. We're united. And it seems like that's the happy ending to the season, but they're leaving us with a little cliffhanger. Taylor meets up with Chase, who is Miranda's baby daddy, who's the evil male podcaster who causes all the drama in the group. She meets up with him, which, by the way, I don't know why we are giving him screen time, but he apologizes to her for, like, I guess destroying her marriage with the whole mom talk swinging scandal, and then talking a lot of crap on his podcast about her and ruining all the parties and showing up places where nobody wants him to be there. And she forgives him, and then they start flirting, and she's like, remember when you told me like that you wanted to like sleep with me more and not just in a swinging with our partners kind of way? And he was like, yeah. And they're like flirting, and Chase asks to kiss her. Oh! Do not make this decision right now. It's like, this girl has horrible taste in men. Oh my gosh, Taylor. She's totally gonna do it. Because if there's one thing we can count on her to do, it's the worst decision she can choose. That's the one that she's gonna pick. Oh, this is gonna be so messy. Apparently there are 20 episodes in the next season. I'm going to be posted up for these because we're finally off of these awkward, uncomfortable plot points, hopefully. And now we get to watch this go down. Oh my gosh, a love triangle. Because you know, as soon as Taylor moves on to this Chase guy, it's gonna make Dakota jealous, and now there's gonna be a triangle. I do have a couple notes about post-show drama. In real time, Demi has continued to chirp Jesse on social media, and the back and forth got so intense that Jesse finally broke, and she went online and posted this video. I have no words.
I have no words.
Someone said, you're not allowed to drink coffee, but this is okay. Another update, Whitney got on Dancing with the Stars. She was by far the best person. She got kicked off kind of early, like shockingly early. I don't know if it's just because of fan hate or if the ABC networks had like a bigger plan for her, but she gets kicked off, but then she gets a redemption arc on a Call Her Daddy interview where she does like the most fabulous dance I've ever seen in my life with Mark Ballas. And now she's gonna be on a scripted role on a show soon. I don't know what it is. And on top of that, she's gonna be Oxy Heart in Chicago on Broadway. So she's doing a victory lap. That is a victory lap if I've ever seen one. So I think she's gonna outgrow Mom Talk. Honestly, I hope she's not on next season because I think she needs to not be on reality TV. She's doing so many other cool things. Good for her. I think I doubted her. I think there is footage of me doubting her. Hey, sorry, I was wrong. But that was season 3 of Secret Lives of Mormon Wives. I wanna know your thoughts because I know I had some controversial opinions. Let's have a yap in the comments. And if you loved this video, please be sure to like, make sure you're subscribed, and if you extra liked it, give it a share on Instagram. I love seeing you over on stories, TikTok, all the things you kids do. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye!